Today, let's talk about guests in ClickUp, how we manage them, what are the different user permissions. We're going to spend a lot of time here staring at this screen and just understanding all the details of guests and their interactions in ClickUp. This is important if you're thinking about contractors who you work with, vendors who you're working with, and clients especially. So this is probably particularly relevant to professional service businesses who are working with clients. My name is Greg McKenzie. I'm the founder at ZenPilot. We are ClickUp's first ever solutions partner. So my time with ClickUp dates back, you can see on the screen here, this workspace, this demo workspace was set up in 2020, but my time dates back to 2017 with ClickUp. So super early on, we've worked with over 3,000 teams, and we're on a mission to build more profitable, more productive, and healthier teams. And we do that by streamlining your operations in ClickUp. So if you need help, give us a shout. All right, let's talk guests here specifically. What is a guest? A guest is an external person who's invited to a specific location or locations in ClickUp. Could be a folder. I almost said space, but you can't invite them to a space. Folder, list, doc, dashboard, chat. You can't invite a guest to your entire workspace or to spaces inside your workspace. Any layer of the hierarchy below that, you can pull them in. You get, this is a little bit plan dependent, but for almost all of you, you'll get 5 free guests per workspace. So just for the fact that you have a paid workspace, you're getting 5, and then additional 5 guest seats for each paid member. You can have as many view-only seats as you want. You can see here, view-only users are always free. In this case, I've got 3 full paid seats, as we can see, plus the workspace. So that gives me 5 times 3 is 15 for my seats, plus an additional 5 for the workspace. So I have 20 guest seats available. Okay, when you're inviting guests in, as I mentioned, the common use cases here are collaborating with either clients or external partners. You can certainly invite people from here, and we could say, guest at ZenPilot. We could invite them in from here, but normally you're not going to do it here. Normally you'll do it from the space in your workspace where you actually are trying to do that. So we'll go to a client here and say, maybe Target specifically, I want to invite somebody into this client portal on the client side. And so I could go here and go to sharing permissions. I could click on the list itself and go up here to sharing and permissions and add somebody in. And let's, anywhere beneath this, I could go here, sharing and permissions on a task. We could go deeper into the weeds here. We could go to a doc or a dashboard or a specific chat. There's some nuance with chat, which we may or may not get into here. But let's just assume that I wanted to add them to this portal on the whole. So we'll go here and go ahead and add this person. And I'll take guest at zenpilot.com, invite them in. And now I get to choose how I want to invite them. Member is obviously paid. For sure, the question is going to pop up. What happens when I want to invite more guests than I have guest spots available? It's no problem. You just pay for an extra paid member seat for each additional 5 guests that you want to invite in. So no problem to do that as well. Okay, I'm glad I pulled this up because there's something you can see right away, which is, hey, you can't invite folks from your same email domain into your space. So we'll do something different here, and we'll invite good old Gray at Hay. And this will let me invite myself as an admin. Obviously, I could do that. I could do a limited member or a guest, and so we'll pick guest here. And then keep in mind, you've got a second set of choices to make. So I could go view only, I could go comment, or I could go edit. And I'll take you through each of those. View only, this one's pretty self-explanatory. So you might want to think about public views versus view only. We can talk about that. I can show you what comment looks like. I'm going to go ahead and give full edit access and send the guest invite. And then I'm going to show you what that looks like on the guest side. And then I'll take you through the other options here as well. Okay, I actually want you to see, I think this experience is pretty helpful to know. You cannot customize beyond, obviously, what ClickUp has, this invite. And so I'm just going to click through it. I thought, hey, I should cut this out of the video. This is pretty boring. Actually, I think it's pretty helpful to see, hey, this invite's going to come from team@info.clickup.com. So we've had no problems with folks getting that delivered, but certainly if you invite somebody and they say, no, I never saw it come through, now you know what to tell them to search for. They're going to enter in their name and their emails there. We'll do a suggested password here and go ahead and save that. By the way, if you're not using 1Password, you're missing out. Okay, join the workspace. They're going to jump in. And right away, they're going to see this. By the way, if they already had a ClickUp account and you invited them to join this workspace, this is what they're going to say. By the way, the question pops up all the time. People say, hey, why GuavaBox? I don't understand. Why is this the demo workspace? Well, GuavaBox was the name of my first agency back in 2011, and so we used that for our demo workspace all the time. Okay, this is super helpful to see right away. From a guest perspective, they are going to only have access to the things that have been shared with them, and they're not going to see the same type of hierarchy. They're going to see this shared with me section, and inside of that, they'll just have access to see this. So you could share 6 different lists with them, and they just see each of those lists here under the shared with me heading. Does that make sense? Now, in this case, I have access to everything here. I'm seeing all the views that I've been given access to. So you do want to have a strategy for what views do I want to have available by default here. I'm going to click into an example. And you can see in this case, I have access to things like time estimate, time tracking. And so you may, obviously, if this is a client situation, you may not want to give that level of access. But I can write comments. I can do all the things that a normal person can do here in this situation. I can add tasks. I can interface. There are a few things that I can't do, which I don't think will be surprising. The reason I said be intentional with views is I'm not allowed to go add a view here. So if you were to right-click, in fact, let me flip over here to the other side of this, and I was right-clicking on that same thing here, I have all these options for what I want to do with it. I can duplicate this view. I can go create a new view. Well, guests don't have the same luxury to do that. So hopefully that's helpful. Okay, I talked about, or just mentioned very briefly, in fact, we'll go here and we'll manage users, these different options, right? So if I wanted to change the access of a guest, what do they have access to? By the way, you can turn on or turn off. We'll flip those off real quickly, time estimates and this information. But if I wanted, I could invite a guest and give them a different level of permissions. So let's go back to guest at Zen. We're not actually going to do this, but if we were going to invite somebody, we could give them access as a view or comment or anything. So if someone has view-only access, they can view the tasks, the list, the chats, but they can't make any changes or leave comments, including they won't be able to leave comments in a chat that you invite them to. Kind of, this is the nuance that I mentioned earlier. Comment functionality. They can view and comment on tasks and chats. They can't edit task details or track time. And let's go back here to our guest outcome. If you've got comment access and you get assigned to a task, you can update the task status. Otherwise, you can't edit that. You'll see time estimates and time tracked are gone here. And then if you have edit access, you can track your time, assuming you have access. You can edit all the task details, status, priority, assignee, due date. You can't create or delete tasks, but you can archive tasks. So that's worth being aware of. There are times where that's super helpful. And then full edit, which I have in this case, I'm going to have access here to be able to even delete tasks, edit them, create tasks in that specific location. So you kind of think of this as like, this is basically a full member for that specific location. So hopefully that's helpful. You can update your guest permissions at any point in time. Anything where you've assigned a task, that guest can update the status if they're assigned to it. I think those are most of the main like initial details that I wanted to share here on guest stuff. So let me grab a couple other things that I think would be helpful for you to be aware of. Okay, a couple key things that I think are worth pointing out. Depending on what plan you're on, the higher level ClickUp plans give you more detailed permission controls. That's one thing to be aware of. You want to be cautious with permissions. Obviously, we can change permissions at any point in time. We can make a member a full member. We can make whatever changes we may need to their access. And you can go see at any point, obviously when they were added, but what they have access to. So if I wanted to change, let me bring this up a little bit just so that this is easier to see, or actually I'll just move this out of our way here. If I want to see what they have access to and then change their access, I can really conveniently do that right from here. So this is super helpful if you're managing, like you're going through and you're doing a monthly review of permissions and trying to walk through that. Okay. You want to be really intentional. Let's take just the client example. You've got a whole range of options for how we interface with clients. One option is, hey, at one extreme end of the spectrum, you don't have any access to our ClickUp environment. we're just going to talk on calls and email or Slack or Teams or whatever you're using with clients, and that's where everything lives. And there's a time and a place for that for sure. Other end of the spectrum is not only do you have access to a client portal where we're specifically adding things at a specific point in time for you to see, you actually have access to this full list. And so just to give you an idea of what this would look like on the guest side of things, I'll show you, I'll pop this open and show you what that looks like. Here you can see the full list is shared, and now they have, or the full folder is shared, and they now have access to each of the lists inside of that. So that's the other end of the spectrum. Maybe you even make them a member and give them access higher up the chain or to do other things. So that would be the other end of the spectrum. They have access to see everything, all your comments back and forth as a team, saying, "Oh, this client's so frustrating to work with. What do I do here?" Or "I'm totally wrong." They can see everything, good, bad, ugly, all of it. Most teams who we work with don't stay at either end of that spectrum. They'll almost always go somewhere in the middle. So closer to no access would be a public view. So we take a view that is like this. We turn on the share link with anyone button. It generates a public link. We pick and choose some settings here around what we want. And anybody with this URL can then go see what we shared specifically in that view. So in that case, I didn't allow you to click in to the individual tasks. We could have given that level. So only what you have in the columns in that view will be available for someone to see. I can't make any changes here because this is a public view. So that's closer to the end. That is almost no access. You still can't comment. You still can't talk back and forth. So there's some clear downsides to it. But if you want a client to know, hey, where is that milestone? Like, what's our progress like with that milestone or that specific deliverable? That can be a great feature to use. That gets used an awful lot, is this public sharing of views. Even more powerful when you take like a public view of a doc and you have embedded in it multiple public views. So it's just one URL they need to have bookmarked or go to see kind of everything that you'd want to share. I've done some training around that for teams as well. If you're not in the ZenPilot Training Center, this is a clear time to call out the ZenPilot Training Center, where we invest hundreds of hours every year into making sure all of the content around role-based training. So what do your PMs need to know? What do your account managers need to know? What does your ClickUp champion need to know? And what does every individual end user need to know? What does the leadership team need to know? FAQs, community, office hours, all that stuff is involved in the ZenPilot Training Center. If you don't have access, reach out to us and talk about what an engagement looks like that gets you access to that. But we've done a lot of training around that. And then the other end of towards the everything access, but not quite everything access, you might do something like this. You might have a list specific for that client, and you might use some kind of automation on some of these other areas. We might run an automation and say something like, when a task, and we could do this without using automation as well. We could just say, hey, I want to share this task. And so we'd use this add to. The same thing could live in another list. We pick that other list, and that's the client portal list that we want it to be shared to. In this case, it's already shared there. We could do that via an automation as well. So create an automation and say when something like the status hits, I don't want all active statuses, when it hits client review. Let's deselect all of these. So when it hits client review, then what I want to have happen is I actually want to add this to our other list and take something like the target client portal, create that automation, obviously name it, give these things make it easier to manage your automations, but you can have everything built out. So there's a whole spectrum of how you could work in there. If you've not worked with us in the blueprint process, we will help design that for you. And so, but that's important to know about, like, hey, what are the options that we have here? Okay, those are the main things that I wanted to share with you. Guests are always external users. Sometimes it's a contractor, and so the external is not always the most useful phrasing of that, but you know what I mean. Contractor, vendor, or a client. who have controlled access to specific locations in ClickUp, the permission levels of view only, comment, edit, or full edit define what those guests can do. You always want to select the guest when you're inviting somebody externally. Make sure you don't just accidentally add people when you go to sharing and permissions for two reasons. One is obviously, oops, we exposed all our data to them. That would be a major issue. Second one is you want to avoid unnecessary paid seats in those situations. Certainly have a habit of managing and reviewing guest permissions regularly. That's a great security and truthfully, like financial practice as well. And then removing all location access. If you take away all of those places where a guest could access something. So let's go back here, and I want to remove this. Might remove all. That's going to change that guest then to a view-only guest. One thing you have probably already noticed is just this square icon denotes a guest, where you'll see the circle on a full member. Okay, that is what I want to share with you about managing guests in ClickUp. If you need help thinking through your strategy or improving your workspace in ClickUp, give us a shout at ZenPilot. We'd love to help out.